let's culture some flies together, okay? It's pretty easy, and will save you money, give you infinite flies for your cultures. I'll show you how it's done. You're going to start with a plastic cup. I like having a plastic liner. It makes cleanup a lot easier. Don't have to. A lot of people don't. I get a cup, I get the plastic, and then you get a media. I have this container here full of a powder. This is a combination of dried mashed potato flakes, powdered sugar, yeast, cinnamon, methylparaben, which is an anti-mold, and spirulina. And I just put the scoop in there, and then you'll fill this up with water, at which point, you'll mix it up. You'll mix up the media. You will add Excelsior, which is just wood shavings. You can get this super cheap. I got this from Josh's Frogs. Got a huge box of it. You open that up, and we'll sprinkle some flies in there. Let's get about 20 or so flies in there, and we'll snap the lid on. I usually put a label with the dates of these cultures, and then I stick them in the tub, and then I don't touch them for a few weeks, and at which point the flies are ready to go. I use these small little, I think they're like spice cups, in a funnel, and I'll pop this lid off with all those flies, and I'll dump them in here. Forgive me for not showing that part, but it takes two hands. So you'll get your flies in there. These are Melanogaster, and they are wingless. There's two types cultured. There's wingless and flightless. Flightless still have wings and can start flying if they get too warm or a wild one gets in there. These guys will never fly unless a wild one gets in there. But you're going to put some Ref-to-Cal calcium in them and just coat your flies. Like using these funnels, but get in there, give it a good shake. And here I actually do have some Hydei, which are a larger fly. They do have wings. They're a little more bulky. They take longer to grow, whereas the Melanogaster breed very quickly. You'll use the calcium at every feeding. A lot of people do a Monday, Wednesday, Friday feeding for grown frogs. Your younger frogs might need fed every day until they get a little older, but you'll want to use calcium at every feeding. You can't overdose on the calcium, so we use it for every feeding, and there's a lot of things that can go wrong with your frogs if they don't have it. In addition to that, there is some vitamin A that is good for your frogs on occasion. You don't want this at every feeding because they can overdose on it. But at least twice a month you'll want to use that. If you are trying to breed your frogs, vitamin A really helps with the egg production. Oh, one last thing. I highly recommend that when you are done with these, stick them in the freezer for at least a couple hours. That'll ensure that you kill off any larvae, any adult flies, any mites or anything that are in there, and then you can pitch them.